right, I'm Dom Fisher with Geek Nation. How you doing, Lance?
I'm doing good.
So we'll jump right into it. So you play a big character, one that many fans know the name, Albert Wesker. Were you familiar with the Resident Evil franchise, and how does it feel to be a part of such a long storied franchise?
Wow. Well, it's interesting because I was only aware of the film, so I wasn't aware of the video games, which is ironic given that the video games is kind of the heart of the franchise. So when this came to me, or rather when I became aware of the project, I had the good fortune of being able to, there's 8 episodes in the first season. I was able to read the first 7 before I even had a meeting on the project. So I knew, at least in terms of this story and this Wesker, I knew where the character was going and I knew where the story was going for the first season. So, and it was so layered and so complex and so exciting and well written. I felt like I really, really, really wanted to be part of the show. And then it was only kind of after the fact that I realized this kind of the huge legacy that was that was behind it.
Yeah, I mean, what you saying layered, goes to my next question. What is it like playing that character? I mean, he is very layered. He has many secrets. I really wanted to see more of what I call Blade Bird with the whole leather outfit. But what was it like having to jump into this big character?
A lot of hard work. I mean, I wish I had a more storied answer, but I don't. It was just because it's written so well on the page. I just did a lot of work trying to make sure that I brought that to life. Especially given that there's I need to be careful what I say, but especially given that there's so many different facets, not just layers to the character, but different facets of the character.
So with Albert, he kind of has almost 2 story arcs. He has one as a father and one as like a man and a scientist.
Oh, interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. So which one of those story arcs kind of feels the most fulfilling and, the one that you like see the best on screen?
Well, I can't pick because for me, what's most interesting about the character is how those 2 story arcs conflict. So, because it's almost as though the relationship with his daughters is what what keeps him anchored to his humanity, and his anchor to his humanity is what brings him into constant conflict with Evelyn, his boss, and her agenda. And so that's what I love about. That's in some ways that's what I love most about playing the character.
Yeah, and with this kind of world being kind of almost anything is possible, I really hope to see you in a season 2. The way it ended, I could definitely see that happening, and it was phenomenal. Do you think that that's a possibility that we see you in season 2?
Short answer: is it a possibility? Yes. Many things are possible.
Yeah, and this, I think, lastly. Is there anything personal that you brought to the character that you wanted to make sure, like, his personality is this way?
Well, it's funny because as an actor, it's tricky because then you get into kind of what school of acting you're from. But as a as an actor that came through drama school at the time that I did. It's a combination of very classical training and kind of the method training. And so you realize that even though you're trying to play classically trained, you're kind of trying to play different characters. You're not playing yourself. But at the same time, particularly with film and television, in order to get particular nuance, you have to find kind of an emotional reality. And in order to find it, you've got to find it inside yourself. So, I mean, in terms of my relationship with my daughters, I mean, I tried to find, it wasn't that hard to find because, I've got 2 kids. And I was a father who struggled because my career, there was a point in time when my career was the most important thing to me. And they were just kind of this other thing that I had to do. And at the same time, there was the hardest job that I had to do in my life. And the other thing was, in terms of another facet of Wesker, I'm a big kid who's hypersensitive. And, there's once again, I'm not getting into spoilers, but there's a facet of Wesker that I brought to that.
Well, man, I appreciate your time. Everyone be sure to make sure to check out Resident Evil July 14th streaming on Netflix. And thank you.
Thank you.